we worked together, and Ruth did all the plastic part, and I did all the sewing. And we made things that we put toonies in on one side and ones on the other side. And then we asked people if they would like to buy them, and we sold them some for $2, and some people gave us $5. That was nice. Anyway, we sold all of them. They're all gone now.
You want to share anything, Ruth?
All right.
So this is a project that I felt that Joan could do because she can't do too much anymore. And so it was a blessing that my aunt, I was down to her place quite a bit when she was in her latter years. She lived to 102 and sewed up to knit up to 2 weeks before she died. But she also made these little tune holders, and that's how I got the pattern. In the morning, I have a little note in there to you, Pastor Doug, that the morning that we happened to hear when we gave out the loonies, the thought came right immediately into my mind. That's a project Joan and I could do, and do a little thing to help with the mission work in this church. So we set to work on Monday and did that very thing, and we made $100.
Pat's on. You do it right from there. Yeah.
Our group consisted of Joanne, Ruth, Marie, Leona, Patty, Vicki, Gary, and myself. Joanne and Marie were at their Tuesday morning Bible study discussing the loonie challenge, and I'm sure it was a very serious discussion. They came up with an idea of having a spaghetti supper. I was fortunate, along with our other members, to be asked to join. Each of us has a different strength and weaknesses and diverse talents. Together we can accomplish great things. Besides growing our loonie, we were able to share with different people in many circumstances about our project. By telling of our tasks, we could tell about our church, that we can go to church, tell about new tribes, about our missionaries we get to meet, get to know, get to love, and then let go. We even explained to people through this exercise about talents. Talent is not going to amateur karaoke night. They are gifts given to us by the Holy Spirit. Each different talent, each to his or own measure. God is so wise and good. We planned our spaghetti supper to sell 70 tickets. We planned to make enough food for 80, and we fed 100. We also happened to choose the hottest day of summer to have our supper. Even so, we had a wonderful turnout and have been blessed with a profit of $540. We had a very positive experience with our lesson on talents. Even in times of trial and tribulation, in joy of new beginnings, and in sorrow of doubtless summer, we can know we are part of the church body. Each and every one of us is important and needed, and God designed the church body so every member plays a vital role, and no one can take our place.
Very good. I know Elizabeth wants to be a spokesman for us because she's the lady that did most of the work. So she'll say what.
Well, we did pies. We took Liam and Niels and Doug and I's loonies together, and it started out that we had enough to sell 8 pies, and it was also blessings that it was a good year for elderberries, because that's kind of how it got started. We have an elderberry bush in the backyard that legally belongs to Graham, and that elderberry bush started out as just a couple of twigs, and it is probably 20 feet tall now. Anyways, it had abundance of fruit on it this year, so we were able to sell a bunch of elderberry pies and other pies, and got orders for pies, and some of them are actually going to Ottawa. Isn't that neat? Anyway, they're going to Ottawa. It was one of the guys that comes out to youth on Friday nights. He thought it would be fun to be able to take some pies back to university with him. So he had put an order in, so they got delivered last night. So it was fun putting these pies together, and so that was good.
We were hoping for a little bit more of the warm weather to stay. It didn't, so I still have a bunch of ice cream novelties and treats. I think there's a few left in there, guys. We haven't eaten them all. We were going to, got them real cheap and we were going to sell them off, but didn't quite get there. And it's going to go ahead.
Was the first Sunday that when we got the challenge to do this, and yeah, when you do it $1, right? It's kind of hard to start something with $1. So I've been praying about it, and I got the idea of just asking people that I was associated with to just match my $1 or double the $1, whatever the Lord would lead them. So I did a few of those, and I got quite a bit of that. And with that money, I wanted to do some dinners at my place, and that worked too. And that was really challenging, and also really, really nice to meet some people that you normally know, but do not know really well. But that way, you get to know really well when you take over your place of dinner. And I also, the first Sunday that we got a loonie, there's always a church service with Mennonite people in Con, and I was kind of led to just ask that church community to match my $1. And this enemy on one side started telling me, no, you cannot do that. But on the other side, yes, we both could just ask, right? So I just did, and I asked, and they announced it from the pulpit that there was a need for a couple in Indonesia. And that Sunday there was no response, but 3 days later there was a member of the church that came to my door with a check of $500 for this need. So they also as that community from the Mennonites, they also do support new tribes. So they were really glad that they could help this way too, so that's what I did. So when I got
Down the road, want to share a little bit?
This is not about me, this is giving God the glory for the things He has done. This is about the Lord speaking to generous people, and I'm glad to share what I did. Most of you know that I've been in the meat industry for the last 45 years and made sausage, so I thought I'd use that for my challenge to grow that loonie. But to start, I went to a friend, a former friend of mine, and I said, it was one of my first suppliers when I was in business. I said, I'd like to talk to you about my church project, but I don't want to do it through the phone. Can I come over tonight and explain what I'm into? And it was a nice evening, and we were sitting under a tree, and I told him what you all know about the project, and I said, so what I'm asking you, and if it is too much, feel free, and it don't have to be a big one, but would you sell these things for $1? And he said, it don't have to be a big one. And he said, no, I can't do that, John. I can't, when it comes to the serving the Lord, we don't cut corners. I don't give you a small pig, I give you the best pig and the biggest pig out of the barn, and I don't take your loonie. We had also a couple friends that matched our loonie, and so we had a nice start. And then we were sitting